Hey, welcome guys for another deep dive into this new raid for Dragalia Lost. It kind of sucks. I recorded two videos. This was a kind of a two-part thing. One where like right at last night at like 1 o'clock when the raid hit, I did my summons and I was super stoked because I got this bad boy, Naveed, that I wanted to kind of be my main character for the raid, and I got him on my, I think I got him on my, not on my free 10 summon, but I got him on my like kind of saved Warmite summon. So he was definitely free, and that's awesome. I didn't get the dragon, but hey, that's just that's how it goes. So kind of want to combine, I guess, the videos and kind of take you into the raid, what I think about it, and kind of teams and strats for it. Let's start off by saying that the new characters are cool. The new characters are definitely useful. I think the Melsa girl. Let's go check her out. So this is the team that I've built for the raid, but let's go into collection. All right, so Melsa. So I didn't want to kind of go too far into her before I saw whether I absolutely needed her. I was going to level Naveed no matter what, so we kind of wanted to kind of keep her on the bench to see if we absolutely needed her to do maybe like a title run or something like that. Because I definitely wanted the Woodland Fiend Slayer title. But if we look at her kit, obviously what's gonna make her so good is this Physician's Bane, which is the 20% extra damage to the boss. Sleep resistance goes up to 50, but along with the worm print that they give you for the event, I think that brings you up to 80% total. And as I'll get it further into later on in this video, you don't need that anyway. It's completely useless, I think. So this is going to be a pure DPS character. It's cool that she's a dagger because a lot of people already have been farming, Forest, IO, Imperial Assault with Ezzelith, and so you guys have already built up daggers, so kind of putting her in that role she's just going to kind of jump in and fill it. Yeah, not a lot of work needs to be done in order to get this character up and running. The other character that came out, of course, is the Suave Lithomancer. I think he's from like an Old Spice commercial or something like that. He's got these kind of two cool skills. This is a very meh skill if you just use it on its own. However, once you get this Radiant Bubble, once this Radiant Bubble is stacked fully 5 times, for every time you stack it, this skill throws like a giant fire sword up in the air, and then the fire swords, come crashing down for extra damage. And if you get it max stacked, I think the entire skill starts doing something like 1500% of attack damage. So it's pretty sweet. It looks good. He's got Dragon Haste, which is just hands down the best skill for this raid. It's not his sleep resistance. It's definitely his dragon strength. Slayer strength doesn't really come into play, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. Skill prep is awesome. Skill prep lets you get in there and do damage quickly because just like the last raid, there's a piece of the boss that you're going to want to get down. Like for Fraganoth, we definitely wanted to get the tail down as quick as possible. And this one, you want to get the equivalent is the right arm or the right claw. So skill prep helps you get there. Let's see, here's this other girl, this wand support. So I really like her. I think in these raids, your main character is going to be your damage character, and your other 3, you want them to be on element so they don't take a lot of damage, but you want them to like kind of offer something to your main character. If he just offers damage, any damage that she does from the back spot is going to be trivial compared to the damage that you're doing on your main character. However, if the support characters do something that enhances the damage of your main character, then I think that's a big deal. So that's why you would see people with defense breakers in the support slots. If he can defense break, it doesn't matter that they're in a support slot because your main character is going to take full advantage of that defense break. So similarly, I like this hero because of this. It's her first skill, so it will go off. She's generally pretty good about getting her first skill off. And it could just be a 15% strength buff or a 15% crit rate buff, which is awesome. Gives you a little bit of RNG because you really don't need the defense, but it's pretty cool to have her there. I think this is a character that will be able to fill support roles in the future very nicely. So if we ever have instances where we absolutely need like some buffs or something like that, I think this is a good character. She's not a healer. She definitely does damage, but she also kind of brings this support thing to the game. And then she also has this buff time, which is nice. What else? What other characters did we get? I'm not sure. I think that's the bulk of the characters. The new dragon is a nice dragon. I don't have it, unfortunately. It's the equivalent of Agni. It's a strength dragon, and its skill offers a strength. It offers a burn, and it offers a defense debuff. So it's a pretty sweet dragon. I would like to get one of those maximum unbind, but that probably won't happen. At least one. If I can get one, I can eventually unbind it with ores. So. And as far as worm prints go, did I get any of the... I don't think I got a 5-star worm print from the event. There are 2 5-star worm prints from the events that I think are pretty good. I guess we can go check them out. Let's see, showcase info. Or not. There we go. Cerberus deals flame damage to nearby, inflicts burn, and reduces their strength and defense. Okay, here we go. Jewels of the Sun. It's got Naveed and... Is that Erica? Yeah. Verica. So skill haste 6 and HP 70 equals strength 8. I mean, just overall, that's a pretty good worm print. Skill haste is nice, 70%. In fact, I think that's something I would use on Joe. Yeah, that actually looks pretty baller on Joe. I'll probably be making another video on Joe here shortly. I think he's a very underrated 3-star, especially with the 4-strike buff into bows last week. And then Cleo's Ruse. Okay, so we have kind of a supporty, defense-y healing one. This is a great card. 70% HP equals healing plus 13%. You can stay over 70%, especially if you're a Verica. I think you have no problem staying over 70% with all of your heals, and then you're just outputting more heals. And then, of course, last defense. If you do happen to get low, boom, you get that extra 40% defense. This is a really good card. These are 2 good worm prints that I think we'll see use in the future. Here's the Sinoa girl. Turn my audio back on. This is just sleep resistance. Don't bother with this Samurai Siesta. Vita, this is an interesting character. She blinds and she's stun immune for a dark character. And she's a dagger force striker. Interesting. Kind of like a mini Dark Xander, but stun resist, which I'm not really sure the point of. I don't know any light encounters. Did any light encounters stun? I don't think so. So maybe that's a foreshadowing of something, you know, coming up in Christmas time. So we'll see. But anyway, that's what you get from this pack. That's what you get for this raid, and I think the characters are all useful. They're all good, and they're not, you know, just used for this raid, with the exception of, you know, maybe Elsa or something like that. Let's see. So I guess now we'll go kind of into the actual raid, and I do kind of want to start off with my with the con. The kind of one thing that I really don't like about this raid is I think it's too easy. I think they could have done more to make it a little bit more difficult, or at least done something to where the resistances actually matter. You'll see with this whole sleep thing, you don't need it. I see people running Mikotos and Vanessas as their main DPS just fine in this. I don't think you get slept. That being said, I'm still running my Naveed over my Vanessa, even though my Vanessa is more geared, just because the Dragon Haste. It's like it's actually more important to have Dragon Haste. So if I cut over here and bring in a clip of my Discord, you'll see kind of the requirements for it. And so you'll see these requirements: 24% prep. 24% prep, dragon prep. This is what you want, and the kind of focus of this fight is you need to get to your dragon as quick as possible, because that allows you to kind of buffer through one of the purple attacks, and then it allows you to output enough DPS to get through the claw. And once you get through the claw, there are no more AoE attacks that could possibly sleep or anything like that. So it kind of makes sleep a non-factor in this dungeon. So if you are gearing up for this dungeon, people are going to ask for prep. So what's prep? Prep is shapeshift prep. It's, you know, starting the fight off with your dragon gauge filled. And currently there are three ways to get it. This is the 4-star worm print that gives 10%. I happen to have some of this. It was like one of the first 4-star worm prints that I had, so I threw this on one of my support characters. Dragon's Nest is a 3-star that gives up to 10%. I have no idea how or where you get this. I've been selling 3 stars, so that's probably why I don't have any. And then there's the Dragon Arcanum. Ooh, the Dragon Arcanum gives you 8% at maximum unbind. And you might think, oh, how am I going to have maximum unbind? I know, 12. I need 3. Yeah, no. So you need 15 cards, and they're literally throwing them at you during this event. It's like you get them for the boss, you get them from the raid. So like these, you're just going to be able to kind of accumulate as you go. Just don't sell them, and you'll find your runs getting smoother and smoother as you get more and more dragon prep. Where they come up with this whole 24% is, we'll take a look at my team here, is your 3 support characters. Essentially, the requirements for this are, in your support characters, just toss in 3 dragon prep worm prints. And if they're all maximum unbound, you get 8%, 8%, 8%, 24%. So right now I'm sitting at 18%, so not optimal. But I also have a little bit more strength than kind of what's necessary at 1603. That kind of segues into the other thing that people are looking at, is they're not really looking at might. They don't care about the might that these 3 guys are offering in the background. What they want to see is strength. Strength on your main, because your DPS is going to be based off of your strength. We all know that skills and such do a percentage of, you know, STR and when they do their attacks. So you're looking at like 1.2k for strength in order to get the title, the epithet, and 24% dragon prep. So you can have any old medley of fire characters back here, whatever you can get. I have, you'll see, I told you I like to run support characters, so I have Ezzelith as my dagger user because she defense breaks on her skill 2. This girl does her buffs, and Vanessa also defense breaks, and she's not sleep resistant. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I put all fire dragons on. Ideally, I would have liked to put a strength dragon on Sinoa as well, because we don't need the HP, we just need the damage. And then of course on this guy, I just keep my DPS Wyrmprint. If you don't have, a 5-star level 100 Wyrmprint that's going to give you tons of strength, then the 4-star event Wyrmprint is going to be a good option. I would argue that thing probably max unbind level 80 probably gives you much more DPS than, say, Valiant Crown at level 100. I just don't know. I don't need it, so I'm not going to invest into that Wyrmprint. It's just it'd be an absolute waste of resources for me. And that kind of it segues into that same beef that I had, is that the raid is just too easy. The overall progression of the server is, it's gone up since the last raid. Although I feel like the raid, in fact, this raid might actually be easier than the last raid as far as getting the title. As you can see here, I got title on accident about 2 hours after the raid launched. I had no idea. The only thing I knew was to bring Dragon Prep. I threw on an Unbound Dragon Arcanum and that King's Countenance. I had like I said, 18%, and I just accidentally got the Woodland Fiend Slayer. Just completely. I didn't even know what it was. If I could have posted my other video at the time, I went and checked the achievements, and when I clicked on the achievement for the epithet, it was just all question marks. So I didn't even know what you needed to do in order to get it. I just got it kind of randomly, and so I think that's why it's a little bit too easy. But I think a further problem that's kind of exacerbated this issue is the fact that this is a wind raid, and we've been just hammering fire for the past 3 weeks. The whole server, outside of the Halloween event, has been running, green Imperial Onslaught, which means that, whoever had an Ezzelith has been building the Ezzelith. So you already have, a main sleep resistant fire attacker that offers a defense break. People already have her geared, ready to go. High Midgard is a wind dragon. People have been looking to build that. For that. So, you have Mikotos, you have Vanessas, you have Vericas. The average progression of the server with respect to fire characters, as opposed to, say, wind characters or dark characters, is way higher. So the server itself is just way more prepared for this raid. And it kind of just, I think, it just made this raid a little bit too easy. And it was kind of just a face roll, go in there, shift. You got your dragon shift from the very beginning, and then you just don't take damage, don't get slept, don't do anything. You just kind of just smash his hand off, and then mash the buttons. So again, that's pretty much the strategy here. Get your Dragon Prep. It's going to make it easy. Naveed, he just offers this Dragon Haste. It just makes it easier to get subsequent dragons if you need them. It's or if you're going in there with 80% Dragon Prep, because not everybody on your team has 24. A few of them have, maybe somebody has 18 or something. The Dragon Haste just lets you fill that gauge just that much faster when you need it. So that's a great skill, and I mean, it'll go up to 15%. That's a lot of Eldwater that I'm thinking of, but now that I start to really realize how strong. I start to realize how strong Dragon Dragon skill gauge, Dragon Haste is. That's a really good passive skill. So anyway, so aside from the fact that the raid is too easy, the fight is fun. It looks cool. It's definitely got that whole multiplayer aspect. So I like it. What else did they do? They made it so that free-to-play players actually can farm the crap out of this. And oops, let's go to the emblems. So one thing I did notice is that the amount of emblems it takes to get all your twinkling sand has been halved. It's only 3,000. And the amount of wings in order to host an expert is only 2. The special raids are free. So you get 20 to 30, you get 20 gold emblems for expert and 100 for completing a special. So if you're averaging like, say 3 experts to get the special to pop, that's 6 wings for 160 gold emblems. That means 20 iterations of that should give you the amount of currency you need to cap all your twinkling sands. 20 iterations times 6 wings, 120 wings, which with the double recovery and the bonus wings that they gave us for leveling up in this past like compensation, everybody should be able to farm this. All the free-to-play players should be able to get all the twinkling sands. And I think that's really smart on their part, and I think that's really cool. And kudos to Cygames and Nintendo for doing that for the player base. And that's only it's just going to help the whole server kind of get through content, which is cool. So yeah, that being said, I didn't look at the worm print. The worm print's going to, let's check it out. The worm print is solid. It gives you the Hypnos damage, which is kind of all you're really looking for. Sleep resistance, meh, you don't really need it. And of course, you get this 5-star dragon. This is a little bit of a letdown because as you go to the right, it's an HP dragon. Blah. So maybe we'll need it. Maybe the water raid has a hit point check like High Midgard does, but I highly doubt that this will be a useful dragon. At least Pele with strength. So, but anyway, those are the freebies. They are free, so can't complain too much about that sort of stuff. So with that all being said, let's take a look at an actual raid fight. So let's get in here. Let's do a fight. We'll do an expert. And I'll show you guys how this dragon prep works and kind of like a basic. And so like the cool thing is this is such an easy raid. I don't even look at this. 8,900, whatever. 9,400, I could care less. I've seen dudes with like 7,200 come in here. It's no big deal. It doesn't really matter. Dragon prep is that strong. So, but let's see. The basic strategy for the fight, it's kind of like Fraganoth. Instead of the tail, we want to kill his right arm, which is on the left side of the screen as you're looking at it. The hardest part about this raid is sticking onto that arm because it's got kind of a small targeting reticle, and he swings it around a lot. So let's see how good we can do by chasing that arm. Let's see, the fight starts off with 2 area of effect red attacks, which you can just run through to the back of and kind of get on that arm. Whoa. Let's see, where's the arm now? Okay, it's in the back. And I have not got on it. There we go. Okay, I got 1 skill on it. We're pretty slow at getting it down. So as you can see, so here you get these little green bubbles, and you have to DPS them down. And these ones are pretty easy to DPS down in expert. Then he does like a little like cyclone. And if you don't get the arm down quickly, it's going to do an AoE attack. But we have our dragon in order to kind of get through it. Where are you, right arm? There we go. So this is, whoa, this is a charge attack. That's not his actually AoE. That's definitely dodgeable at any point. That is, there's no need to be in front of him at all. And then there's his arm. And he's destroyed. And now that thing's destroyed, there's no more dodge. There's no more undodgeable purple AoE. So you can just kind of sit here in the middle of him and let the tornadoes hit you. It doesn't really matter. That attack you're going to want to just sit in the middle of because he doesn't hit it if you're on top of him. Ah, that hit my dragon. Poor dragon. All right, he's about to be broken, so let's save our attacks. All right, let's do that. Big damage. Big damage. And then let's Dragon Shift again. You can see we have just Dragon Shift on cooldown with all this Dragon Haste and Dragon Prep. So, and then you can just stand on top of him and beat him up. And then he'll teleport around a little maybe. He'll summon some ads, which you don't even look at. And then shapeshift to a dragon again. And that's the raid fight. The epithet is 100 seconds or less. It's I want to say it's easy. You'll get it no problem if you bring the dragon prep. So yeah, that's the fight. Like I said, I don't mind. It looks cool. It's something different. It's fun. I like using Naveed. I think he's cool. So I'm having fun with the raid, and I will definitely farm up my my silver and gold emblems. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thanks for. Hey, we got an EX to pop. I'll save this for another video. This video is getting a little bit long. I'll cut it right here. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this kind of gives you the information you need to go in prepared. I know a lot of people are kind of getting ready to come home from work now and try this out. So I'm glad I got this up and out before that time. Anyway, guys, enjoy Halloween. Get some candy. Don't worry about the raid. You will be more than fine. Thanks again for watching, and peace.